Yo, what's good, y'all? You dub back again, here to deal with another Dragon Ball discussion. Now, this is a discussion I've talked about in the past. I know I've definitely commented in various YouTube comment sections on various videos and whatnot. I know there's a lot of different quote-unquote opinions, a lot of different views and viewpoints on the subject. A lot of different videos have been made. From, I think, Geekdom 101, I think, made a video. I'm pretty sure MJ TV from MJX TV, MJ, formerly Geekless TV. Pretty sure Mike from Laughing Stock Media made one. I'm pretty sure Seth, the programmer, and Chuck the Cyber Cuck have dealt with, like, there's a lot of discussion on this topic. You see the title of the video about Saiyan Transformations, alright? And this one definitely is spawned out of a vid that Kryptonian is saying, my old dude, we go way back. He did a video, alright, dealing with should Ultra Instinct be mastered by Son Goku. I know it said mastered Ultra Instinct, but that's not really the case. I decided I'm just gonna kill all birds with one stone. It's not just killing two birds. I'm gonna kill everything. I'm gonna kill the question of, are there too many transformations? And the question, should Son Goku master Ultra Instinct? Will Ultra Instinct be the final form? As if this was a video game or something. Should, breaking down what exactly all the quote unquote transformations are, what actually they are. Because a lot of people, here's the problem, a lot of people don't understand what they are. They don't understand the pros and cons of each form, why each form even exists, and how numerous each form actually are. Because there's a lot of misconceptions out here about things. All right, so let's begin with the question, are there too many transformations? Let's go based on each series, right? In early Dragon Ball, you have one Saiyan transformation, the Oozaru form. That's it. People, even including myself, hell, half time I'll be forgetting about that form. That's how long it's not been used in the series. It was brought back in DBGT. We hadn't seen the Oozaru form since the Saiyan Saga. Let me repeat that. We have not seen the Oozaru form since the Saiyan Saga. Unless you go to GT. Alright? Then, in the post-time skip, or as many like to refer to, even though I don't like the term these days, DBZ, you have what? You have the Super Saiyan transformation. Now, in the movies, you got the false Super Saiyan. I'm not even going to touch that. Not going to touch that. But you have SSJ. You have SSJ2. You have SSJ3. That's it. So we had the Oozaru form. You had SSJ. You had SSJ2 and SSJ3. And guess what? Each form was presented in an arc. So there was a 4-month arc. You had Namek / Frieza Saga, or just the Frieza Saga if you want to break it down to 2 different arcs. Alright. You had SSJ introduced. SSJ2 introduced an Android / Cell Saga, or if you want to break it down in 2 arcs, in the Cell Saga. It's another form. And then Majin in the Buu arc, Majin Buu arc, you had SSJ3 introduced. I mean, if you want to go Ultimate Gohan, Mystic Gohan as a separate form, you can go that. That's Gohan's potential unlock. Depends. You can consider it a more godly transformation. We'll get to those. But so you really only have 3, maybe 4 forms, depending on how you want to deal with Gohan. Then let's go to DBGT before we go to Dragon Ball Super. DBGT, you can say Golden Oozaru. All right. And you have SSJ4. 2 at max, if you want to consider Golden Oozaru. Dragon Ball Super, we have what? We have Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, aka Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. You have Future Trunks' Super Saiyan Rage / Super Saiyan Akari. You can say Super Saiyan Rose, but that was a corrupted, that was God explained, so I won't include Goku Black in that one. So really only have 3, and you have what? Ultra Instinct. Okay. You can say if you want to consider Omen and Master 2, but really only one. Oh, of course, Super Saiyan Berserker. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on how you want to break down Ultra Instinct. All right, Ultra Instinct had you had all these forms with the Saiyans. All right, now let's really look at who all had these forms. Uzaro, every Saiyan can have that. Fine. But nobody complains about Uzaro. All right, let's go to the SSJs. We had what? Son Goku had it. Then you had Future Trunks. You had Vegeta, that's 3. Gohan, Goten, Trunks. That's Kid Trunks. That's 6. Now, if you include Dragon Ball Super, you have Kaba and Caulifla. That's 8 people. 8 people. That's it. Only 8. It's not like it's running all rampant. You don't have that many Saiyans, but you also don't have that many Saiyan Super Saiyans. Alright? So you go from all the Saiyans having Uzaro form, potentially. I mean, they naturally are born with it. To 8 people. 8. Now let's go to SSJ2. You have Son Goku. Future Trunks gets it. I mean, you can go also into the grades, but I'll deal with the grade forms later in the video with breaking down each form. But so you have Son Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Caulifla, Kaba gets it. I think that's 5. Oh, I said Future Trunks, excuse me, 6. So Son Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Future Trunks, Kaba, and Caulifla. 6 people. So you went from all the Saiyans to 8 to 6. Let's continue. SSJ3, 1. You have 1 SSJ3. So you went from all the Saiyans to 8 to 6 to 1. Son Goku's the only one that's ever tapped into SSJ3. SSJ4, 2. You only had Son Goku and Vegeta. Now, Super Saiyan God depends if you're talking about anime or manga. Because in the anime, you only have Son Goku. In the manga, you have Vegeta getting it as well, which makes perfect logical sense. So 1 at max 2. That's it. Super Saiyan Blue, 2. Son Goku and Vegeta. That's it. Super Saiyan Rage, 1. You have Future Trunks. That's it. They were talking about, ooh, we need more Saiyan exclusive transformations. These are sounding pretty exclusive to me. SSJ is exclusive. Super Saiyan Rage is exclusive. Berserker is exclusive because we only have that with Kale. And as far as Ultra Instinct, topping into that, Son Goku. Exclusive forms. And if you kind of want to put into the exclusive category, you have Super Saiyan Blue and you have Super Saiyan 4. Exclusive forms because only 2 people up in there. Pretty exclusive to me. Folks saying they want differences. Oh, how can I forget Super Saiyan Evolution? But if you want to include that as well. Vegeta is the only one that taps into that. Like Son Goku is the only one that taps into Ultra Instinct. Oh, and Son Goku is the only one that utilized the Kaioken technique. So all this, there's too many transformations. Yet you want people to be exclusive, have their own way. Gohan's the only one that has Mystic form / Ultimate form. You want people to be special, but then the series gives people special, but there's too many transformations. That makes no sense. There's not too many transformations. Hell no. It's absolutely lunacy. Absolute lunacy. Now, should there be more? Absolutely there should be further. We got hints of this. You have Son Goku tapping into Ultra Instinct. He needs to master it. He can't even tap into it at this point. It was out of desperation. Remember this. People say ass pools don't exist. You just need to pay attention to the detail and pay attention to the narrative. This form, this state of being, that's what it was, and I'll get to that later on down in the video. The state of being was taught to them by Whis, both Son Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta didn't learn it. Son Goku tapped into it because he was near death, 3-4 different times? People say, well, he regained his stamina. No, he didn't, because if you can go back to the episode where we were considering, well, Frieza, we know Frieza wasn't going to actually kill him, but it looked like it. Frieza gave him energy in a reversal of what happened on Namek. He gave him ki, alright? Son Goku don't have energy, and he only lasts in the form a minute or two. In a state of being a minute or two. Okay? So, it's, folks saying, oh, it's broken. No, it's not. Yes, he has crazy dodging abilities, evasion. He has phenomenal power. But he's not that skilled. It's the same thing as when he first tapped into SSJ. It's the same exact thing, bro. So when you look at it, he needs to still master it. He needs to get but that's not the final plateau. Well, how do we know that's not the final plateau of power? Pretty much, seemingly, all the angels can tap into it. Some of the gods of destruction can kind of tap into it. We know the angels. We know Whis is more powerful. We know the Grand Priest. And we know there's around 4 or 5 other gods who are about that life. And who knows how many other powerful cats are out in the multiverse and in the timelines. Son Goku got a lot of opponents. Saying, well, if he has this, he puts him on a level. Puts him on a level of what? Not depending on the gods? That's the entire purpose of what Dragon Ball Super has been showing us. That they should not be dependent on the gods. And the fact that people have this issue with him surpassing, you didn't have an issue with him surpassing Kami. You didn't have an issue with him surpassing King Kai. You didn't have an issue with them surpassing the Kaioshin. But now the gods of destruction? Oh, because they're supposed to be this powerful. Let me tell you, them dudes don't be training. They don't be training. And they've been surpassed. Even before the tournament, they surpassed some of the gods of construction. Confirmed both in the anime and the manga. So just stop. Stop it. Ultra Instinct. He needs to actually master it. Just because he can use in that form both the offensive and defensive capabilities, that mean mastery. Mastery of self-movement. Ultra Instinct. Instinctive. Guess what? It means mastering of himself. A martial artist, one of the key points is to master oneself, is to push oneself. You don't become perfect, but you perfect your technique. That's what you do. And you go beyond. You always strive for greater. And in the case of Son Goku and Jiren, they're about strength and gaining even more power and more strength. They have a big ideology on strength. Okay? It's strength for the pure sake of gaining strength. Not, ooh, look at me. No, it's a purity of getting strong. Other series deal with this. Miyazawa Kichi and the Tough series. Hanma Yujiro, the ogre himself, in the Baki series. And I can go an entire list of characters who it's so pure, it's beautiful. Because it adds to humility, it adds to protection. There's a lot that comes with it, but that's another topic for another video. And yes, I think he can go beyond Ultra Instinct. Considering the fact that the angels can seemingly do it naturally, at least in the case of Whis and Vados, and definitely in the case of the Grand Priest, that means that there is a power beyond Ultra Instinct. Just like there was a power beyond Super Saiyan. There's a power beyond Super Saiyan God. Alright? Moving on. Now, to each of the forms, right? Going to try to keep this as brief as possible, or the quote-unquote forms. Uzaru. That is the definitive definition of a transformation. It's like a werewolf transformation. A were-ape, if you will. Uzaru was natural. At first it was Berserker, but guys like Vegeta learned how to control it. If you extend that to Golden Uzaru, it's Uzaru with the Super Saiyan base or something along those lines. There's a few different perspectives on what Golden Uzaru is. But Uzaru is a natural transformation to the Saiyans with the tail. At a certain frequency of the moon, they transform. And they get a 10 times boost in their natural base power. They're massive in size. They're just monstrous, right? Kaioken is not a transformation. It is a technique. King Kai's fist, as it is also known. The Kaioken is a technique. It amplifies, it pure multiplies the person's power. The reason Son Goku is pretty much the only one to use it, because it has a massive strain on the body. It's a less efficient form of the gates. If you know Naruto with the 8 gates, it's a less efficient form of that. I think that's an adequate comparison, where to gain, it's a classic gaining speed, power, and more, and it's only a very limited time. finally in Dragon Ball Super, Son Goku learned how to more or less master it. Kind of like, Straw Hat Monkey D. Luffy in One Piece mastering Gear Second, and how the strain does not kill him like it did. You saw it in the Saiyan saga. You saw it in the Namek saga. You saw it also in the Universe 6 tournament arc. Right? You saw the strain killing his body. And he finally, by the time of, the Tournament of Power arc, he was, able to use it multiple times at a decent amount of time for minutes on end without it really hurting his body. So there is that. It is a multiplying technique, speed, power, strength, but it's very costly and very damaging to the body. Then you have the Super Saiyan, alright? First form of Super Saiyan, which we see on Namek. It is a 50 times multiplier. It increases a Saiyan's speed, durability, power, strength, all that good stuff by 50 times, which is insane. Think about this. If you can, normally, let's say you can run at absolute max speeds at 8 to 10 miles an hour. Let's just go, if we go straight, not even exponential multiplier, just straight math multiplier. That means you're running at like 400 miles an hour, dude. Insanity. Let's say you can bench press 400 pounds. Times that about 50, bro. 20,000? 20,000 pounds? 10 tons? See what I'm saying? The Super Saiyan multiplier is crazy. Then we have grade 2, which we saw with Vegeta. Super Vegeta. It is kind of more buffed up version. It's just a relatively improved version of what we saw in Namek. Grade 3, Ultra Super Saiyan, as it's dubbed by many of us fans, is the form that we saw with Future Trunks and Son Goku showed Gohan, but it wasn't a good, yeah, he had all the power and all the strength, but it was slow. It was too muscular. It was too big, which applies a lot of real world, people say quote unquote real world concepts. It applies to our world. For example, one of the things folks say about steroids, they increase in whatever. If you increase muscle mass, you get slow. This is an unknown fact. There's a way to do it and a way not to do it. And Ultra Super Saiyan or grade 3 is the way not to do it. Then you have grade 4, which is full powered Super Saiyan. It is a clear, it's a mastery of the Super Saiyan form. It clear upgrade above all forms. It takes all the aspects of those forms without the drawbacks of the forms. And the stamina is far greater because we can see that they can pretty much stay in the form all day, as long as they're not expelling ki. We saw that with Son Goku and Gohan. Then we get SSJ2, which is, you can argue, a better form, but it would burn out ki a little bit faster, but you are 2 times more powerful than the full powered Super Saiyan. So more powerful, faster, stronger, more durable, slightly ki decrease, but again, you get the 2 times amp. Then you have SSJ3, which is a 4 times amp of SSJ2 or 8 times multiplier of SSJ. This one has massive power, massive speed, all that great stuff, but terrible stamina. This is the worst stamina form out of all Super Saiyan transformations. The worst form by far. Then we move on, if you will, to Golden. We talk about Golden Uzaro. SSJ4, right? SSJ4, as I love what Braku, I think 72, that's his channel, 72. And different ones have talked about it. How it's not a Super Saiyan transformation. It's more Uzaro transformation. It's more the peak, the pinnacle of the natural Saiyan. It's the controlling of the Uzaro, of an Uzaro who has Super Saiyan capabilities. And it's ridiculous. It doesn't even look like a Super Saiyan. You got the fur, red fur. It's definitely when you see Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. But you got the fur, you have the Saiyan tail out, which we don't see with the Super Saiyan transformations. It's more along the lines of the legendary Super Saiyan state, honestly. Um, some may argue maybe this was, I know it's not exactly, you know, the debate. I'm not even going to deal with the canon debate, but yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous multiplier. Like, it's really, a humanoid form of the Uzaru. And we see with each of these Super Saiyan transformations, the aggression continues to build. Super Saiyan 3, Son Goku is more aggressive. It's almost as if the power, it's not that it corrupts, it just, the more power you have, the more control it takes. And Super Saiyan 4, Son Goku was a lot different. It took him, at least initially against the baby arc, it took him, by the time of the Shadow Dragon arc, he was pretty chill, but he was still a lot more primal, as people say. A lot more, not savage, but a lot, his natural battle senses were heightened to the nth degree. So yeah, it's Super Saiyan 4 isn't really a Super Saiyan transformation as much as it's the true Super Saiyan, if you will. It's not simply a multiplier. It's a transformation, more of a natural evolutionary state. Coming in with the God forms, alright. Super Saiyan God. All a Super Saiyan God is a Super Saiyan tapping into God Ki. That's the basic, it's not even a transformation, really. It's more of a state of being. It's more control of God Ki. Now, Super Saiyan Blue is Super Saiyan tapping into God Ki. So that one does technically classify as a transformation. Pretty simple if you understand what Super Saiyan, and you got God Ki. Boom. Now, as far as in Super Saiyan Rage, we never got an official, because in the manga it didn't even use it. But in the anime, you get Super Saiyan Rage. And you could look at this a number of things. People are like, well, we don't get an explanation, but here's the thing. We know that he trained with the Kaioshin. We know that he observed, Future Trunks did. We know that he observed Son Goku and Vegeta go Super Saiyan Blue multiple times. And we saw crazy abilities. People said with the Spirit Sword, the Ginkidama Sword, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I had no issues with that because Future Trunks is a prodigy, just like his father, right? And he's been through many battles. He's very battle-hardened. He's very experienced. And he knows how to use Ki. And performing these things aren't that crazy. I think he tapped a bit into God Ki. Not fully, as far as Super Saiyan. The way that the hue looks like he tapped a bit into God Ki while he was Super Saiyan. But I don't think he had control over the God Ki. When the first time, remember, when Son Goku first tapped into God Ki with Super Saiyan God, he was saying that it was a power he wasn't used to. He had to learn how to control it. And in the same sense of Trunks, he was raging out. It took him a little bit to control it. So, at least from my perspective, he tapped a bit into God Ki. It wasn't a form that he was used to. He was used to SSJ2. Or you could say he was SSJ2 with tapping into God Ki. Would probably be a more accurate assessment. So, that's at least my perspective on the matter. From what we've seen, he had got trained by the Kaioshin and whatnot. So, who knows? In a manga, he had healing capabilities. So I think that had something to do with it. It was his training with the gods. Now, Super Saiyan Berserk. Super Saiyan Berserk is a different form of Super Saiyan. Some could say maybe this was more so the original. Even Vegeta threw this out there. Maybe this was the original legendary Super Saiyan state. Way different from the forms that he and Son Goku tapped into and learned and passed on the knowledge, the Kaba and such. It seems like it's a more primal form, and it may be more exclusive to the Universe 6 Saiyans potentially because they evolved without the tail. And in the case of a Super Saiyan 4, if you want to include that, it works with the Universe seven Saiyans because they had a tail. So if you see the parallel there in that situation. So yeah, Super Saiyan Berserker is the natural Saiyan Super Saiyan. You can argue that. The multiply we have no idea about. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it works because if you look at the Uzaro state be raging out before certain Saiyans can control it. We saw that with Son Goku. We saw that with Gohan and such. So yeah, with Dragon Ball, we see a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. Sometimes trial and error has to be learned to be able to use and control these forms. And you have to be able, your body as well as your mind have to be able to control and withstand the stresses of power of these forms. Now, as far as Super Saiyan evolution, it seems like it's possibly a grade 2 version of Super Saiyan Blue, or it's a step up of Super Saiyan Blue. It's pretty basic to me in that regard. Not that the form is bad, it's just the concept is pretty basic. And we go to Ultra Instinct, all right? It is not a transformation. It is a state of being. Now, a lot of people saying, well, it's both. No. It's a state of being. The reason people say it's a transformation is because you see Son Goku, his, the aura and such. Just because you have a different aura does not make it a transformation. For example, there was constantly a white aura with a lot of characters in Dragon Ball. Did they now transform? No. We can say, well, what about his hair? What about his eyes? It's a state of being. We know this because it isn't a Saiyan only thing. We know some of the gods of construction, like Lord Beerus, can kind of tap into Ultra Instinct. Do they transform? Do they expel? No. The angels, do they transform? Though they seem, at least some of them have fully mastered it. No. It's just, this isn't a power, quote unquote, that mere mortals normally have. So of course it would affect the physiology. Remember, God Ki's not a form that mortals typically have. That's what's called God Ki. This is a difficult concept, people. He goes into a different state of being. We see this because the fact that he can't even just tap into it, just as an example, the fact that he did not know what he was doing. He really didn't. And we'll also see how the manga portrays it. But yes, it's a state of letting your reflexes, your movements, and it's a high level, high caliber ability that I think of martial artists. It's acting without thought. It doesn't make you mean you're thoughtless. It means you're so practiced. It's as if you, for example, you were hitting a baseball or shooting a basketball, kicking a soccer ball, kicking a football, throwing a football, throwing a punch. You don't think about it. You just do it. Your body does it. And it saves the time on the activity. You don't have to be as laborious with the thought, oh, I need to do this. So mechanical. You just do it. Someone who's a great example of this is Steph Curry. If you know basketball, or Klay Thompson, the way they shoot the basketball, it's just boom, trigger so quick. It's hard to defend. But yeah, this is a kind of comprehensive view on the whole situation. Like, a lot of this stuff is basic if you pay attention to the details of the series. These are my thoughts. I would love to hear y'all's. I know this video ran a little long for some of y'all, but hey, some things need to be said. Unexpected Warner, like, comment, subscribe, tell me your thoughts. And until next time, y'all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.